Hello again, ladies and gentlemen, to this special March Madness Sweet 16 episode of the International Agenda presented by the BJ Show. As always, I'm your host, Aidan Barry. Let's get straight in to the action on the floor. So, just like the first episode we did for this year's March Madness, we're going to go region by region, and we're going to start off with the East region. The first game in the East region Sweet 16 bracket. Number 6 BYU playing number 2 Alabama. And this is a really interesting game. BYU causing a little bit of carnage going over Wisconsin, a Wisconsin team that I was very high on going into the tournament. But they have made it traverse Alabama in the Sweet 16. And they rightfully got there. They held on against Wisconsin, Alabama going over St. Mary's in the second round. We have two teams, two very, very strong teams here. This is a game that will be decided in the last 5 minutes of the game. It will be decided in clutch time. I guarantee you that. You know, we've got two teams. We've got great scorers all around. So Alabama, we've got Mark Sears, scoring leader for Alabama, against Richie Saunders, the scoring leader for BYU. Rebound leaders for these teams: BYU, Keba Keita and Grant Nelson from Alabama. Assist leaders: Igor Durman for BYU and Mark Sears for Alabama. Mark Sears, one of the key players of this Alabama team on the offensive side. BYU a lot more evenly spread production by them, and it's two teams building a team the way they see fit. Two programs going at it the way they want to. But in the end, this is going to be two teams going at it. It's going to be a game decided by who wants it more. BYU have probably a little bit more momentum coming off that win against Wisconsin. Alabama, a little bit cruisier win over St. Mary's in the round of 32. This game, I'm looking forward to. It's going to be cool. It's going to be a cool game. It's going to be a great game. It's probably going to be one of those classics that we look back on in the years of the March Madness tournament. I'm going to go and say there's going to be a little bit of chaos here. I'm going to put BYU over Alabama and put them into the first Elite 8 spot in the East region. The second game in the East is Arizona number 4 against the number 1 ranked East region team in Duke University, led by their man Cooper Flagg. Cooper Flagg is their leader in all categories. 18.7 points, 7.5 rebounds and 4.2 assists for Cooper Flagg. This is a very, very strong team. I'm not taking anything away from Arizona. They're a very, very good team as well. I just think Cooper Flagg is dominant enough to be running a game. This is a number 1 pick in the NBA. This is the unanimous number 1 pick in the NBA. He will take this game for Alabama, and they will easily go over Arizona unless Arizona come up and put up with the fight, knowing that they have to be tough, they have to be gritty, and not just on the court but in the head as well. They got to roll with the punches, as they say in boxing. But I think that Duke are just going to be that much stronger. Cooper Flagg, the rest of the crew down there, it's going to be one of those games where Arizona are probably a little bit undermanned. If they do win, it will be shades of that great team that won it back in the 90s. But I just don't see that happening. It will be Duke going on to play BYU in that Elite 8 game. And since we're in that East region, let's have a look at my prediction for the Elite 8 game. I think even if BYU do get over Alabama, Duke will take it. Duke, I said, they should be a Final Four team. Cooper Flagg is there. They definitely deserve to be a Final Four team. They will beat BYU if they're playing BYU. I think they will also beat Alabama if they play Alabama. So we're going to say for the East region, it's going to be BYU versus Duke in the Elite 8, with Duke going into the Final Four. We now move to the West region, and we have number 4 Maryland, who survived a scare against 12 Colorado State in the second round, against the SEC champions, number 1 ranked Florida. You know, Florida, very strong, strong program athletically. Normally a football program, football's a strong SEC sport down there in those southern states. Basketball, they're starting to make inroads into against the ACC. But they are number one ranked for a reason. They won their conference for a reason. I think Maryland, they survived the scare against Colorado State. I just don't see them having the numbers to get up and compete again against Florida. They could prove me wrong. This is March Madness. Chaos happens. If it's going to happen, it happens in this tournament. But I'm going to say Florida do go over. They're a very strong team. They're led points-wise. They're led by Walter Clayton, 17.9 points a game. Rebounds, Alex Condon with 7.8 rebounds and assists, Walter Clayton as well. So Walter Clayton running that offense for Florida. Good, very strong team, very good college player for them. But they're a team built on a team program. It's not just one man running the show down there in Florida, same as Maryland. They are teams built on every man, all in, one in, all in to get the job done. But the numbers, the all-ins for Florida, the numbers are beating Maryland right now. So Florida will go into that West bracket Elite 8. Second game for the West region, we have number 10, Arkansas versus number 3, Texas Tech University. And this is a game that I'm looking forward to, much like the BYU-Arizona game. BYU-Alabama game. This is a game that I'm definitely looking forward to. Arkansas, of course, a little bit of chaos in the tournament already. Can they cause a little bit more? Now, Texas Tech, I saw them as a 3. I didn't see them as a 3. They were 3 on the listing, but I didn't see them as a 3 ranked team. So even though they come out very strong, I feel like if there's going to be some chaos, it's probably going to be in this matchup right here. But Arkansas, good team, very good team. Of course, chaos already to get to this point. What's a little bit more for them? They're led scoring-wise by Jonell Davis, only putting up 12 points a game, but they play a very low-scoring, gritty style of college basketball where they are a defense-focused team. Texas Tech, good offensive team though. JT Toppin leading 18 points per game for them. So we're going to see clash of styles. The grittiness of Arkansas versus the wanting to get points on the board of Texas Tech. And, I say Arkansas could cause some chaos here, but I am going to go with Texas Tech on this one. So we're going to put that theoretical Elite 8 game into the bracket, and it's going to be Florida versus Texas Tech. And that's going to be one of the games that I look forward to. I look forward to all these games. It's much more this season, but a Florida versus Texas Tech matchup has me absolutely salivating in the Elite 8. I'd have to go Florida. They are a very strong team. I see them probably going to the Final Four as well. Florida will go over Texas Tech in that theoretical Elite 8 situation. If we get, Maryland versus Texas Tech, I'd probably go Texas Tech. If we get Arkansas versus Florida, then I'll go Florida there. But that is the East and the West regions done for March Madness 2025. Let's get into the other two. We're going to start with the South region. First on the docket, number 6, Ole Miss versus number 2, Michigan State. Michigan State, another team who, as I said last week, when I saw them on the billing, I just didn't believe them as a 2. But probably a much stronger team. I probably saw them as a 3 or a 4, but still a much stronger team than number 6, Ole Miss. Jaden Atkins there. One of my favorite players in college basketball for the last few years, watching him come up through the high school game as well. Leading their points at 12.7 per game. Sean Padula leading the points for Ole Miss, 15.2. This is a game where I think it's going to be a slugfest. It's going to be a blow for blow kind of game. It's going to be a slow blow for blow kind of game, and I think that we're going to put Michigan State over in this one. Now, Ole Miss, I think they've got a chance if they can get a jump on them. They're going to be in the game, but I know Michigan State don't want to let that happen. Aren't going to let that happen because they know what's going to happen if Ole Miss do get that jump on them. So it won't be happening. We will put Michigan State into the Elite 8 for the South region. Second game in the South is number 5 Michigan versus number 1 Auburn, and this could get hairy. This could get real hairy. I'm going to put it out there. If I'm putting Michigan State in the South Elite Eight, I'm putting Michigan in the South Elite Eight because I want some fireworks. These two schools absolutely can't stand each other. And, do I think it's going to happen? I'll tell you what. If Michigan see Michigan State making the Elite Eight in the early game, they're going to be fired up and want to play them in the Elite Eight bracket for the South region. Auburn, the number one, it's going to be a tough game for them. Auburn, a team who probably deserve to be national champions alongside Duke. If it's not Duke, it's probably going to be Auburn, but it's still going to be a closely contested Sweet 16 and Elite Eight. Let's go straight into this game. Theoretical Elite Eight. Michigan State versus Michigan. Oh, make my dreams come true, please. We've seen it on the football field. I want to see it on the court. Oh, please let this happen. If the basketball gods let this happen, I will be forever grateful. Let's put this theoretical game into that Elite Eight. This is a game that I love to see. There's going to be fireworks. There's going to be argy-bargy. There's going to be a lot of something going on. And if that happens, I think we put Michigan State into the Final Four. So we have 3 Final Four teams. We have Duke. We have Florida. And now we will see who I predict as my Final Four team. We have Duke. We have, Duke, Florida, and Michigan State. We'll see who my Final Four team is as we now go to that final bracket, the Midwest region, where it is lined up, seeds lined up, 1v4 and 2v3. We start with the 2v3, Tennessee versus Kentucky, the Vols versus the Wildcats. In another good old SEC matchup in the football world, but happening on the basketball court this time. These are 2 really good programs. They've earned their 2, they've earned their 3, and they belong where they belong. So, we're going to have to go Tennessee. Tennessee are leading on the edge right now, just on the percentage of who the experts predict, and they're not going to be lying at this point. I think Tennessee are just a little bit better than the University of Kentucky at this point. Tennessee going to want to go down there, get into that Elite Eight. So Tennessee we're going to put in there. Now Kentucky, traditional basketball program, very storied history. They could pull a surprise here. They're a historic team. They want to show they've still got some fight in them. This is time for them to go and see what they're made of. This is going to be a tough game for Kentucky. Tough game for them. They're going to be up against a real good team in Tennessee. But if they can get a move on, and just like I said with some of the other games, if they get a jump, they could be hard to catch. But, actually, no. New plan. I'm just thinking about that now. Kentucky are going to get a jump on Tennessee, and they are going to win that game. So let's put Kentucky into that Elite Eight game in the Midwest region. Final Sweet 16 game. Midwest region, number 1 Houston versus number 4 Do. It's Purdue Boilermakers. And this is a game. I look forward to a lot of these games. I really look forward to these games. I've really liked watching Houston build their program in the last couple of years. I'm going to be honest. Houston are one of my favorite college basketball programs going around right now. They've got a really good program. Their players, they're playing for, a program that's been built over the last couple of years to get to this point. And I could see them, wanting to show what they're made of. On the line right now, they're 80% chance to win, and I'm not going to lie, that is a very good odds. And I think they're going to have it. Purdue, they're a 4, they're a deserving 4 in the region. Looking at that Midwest bracket, deserving 4, but probably that 4 is a mile away from the number 1, number 2, and number 3 in this Midwest bracket. So Purdue, they've made a Sweet 16. If they can overcome, good on them, but I just can't see it happening. Houston, as I said, I've really enjoyed watching them build this program to this point, and they really deserve it. They are my sweetheart team in this March Madness bracket, so I have to put them into that Elite Eight game against Kentucky. And I I want to see this one. I have to let this one happen. Houston versus Kentucky. It's probably not a game that most people had on their cards, but I have it on my bingo card. And I'm probably going to say, if it does happen, as much as I like Houston, as much as I've really enjoyed them, that it will be Kentucky going for the win. So my final four, just to confirm, is going to be Kentucky. It's going to be Michigan State. It's going to be Duke. And it's going to be the Florida Gators. But, ladies and gentlemen, we will see what happens in the second week of March Madness. The Sweet 16 and the Elite 8 coming your way this week. As always, I'm your host, Aidan Barry, for the International Agenda presented by the BJ Show, signing off, and thank you for listening.